Be ready. 5 seconds. Start. Honorable Speaker Sir, I rise today to speak on a subject that has shaped the subcontinent's destiny for over 7 decades, our relationship with the neighboring nation of Pakistan. The Indo Pak relationship is one of the most complex bilateral equations in modern geopolitical history. It is a relationship marked by wars, peace, efforts, suspicion, diplomacy, shared culture, and yet continuous divergence in national priorities. As representatives of the people of India, it is our solemn duty in this House to reflect on this relationship not just from the lens of history but also with a vision for the future. Ever since the tragic partition of 1947, the two nations have walked parallel paths, often crossing each other with hostility and rarely meeting in harmony. We have fought wars in 1947, 1965, 1971 and faced the bitter wounds of the Kargil conflict in 1999. Each of these wars has cost both nations countless lives, billions in defense spending, and generations who grew up under the shadow of animosity. Yet, despite these deep scars, India has time and again chosen the path of dialogue, stability, and peace. India's approach towards Pakistan has always been that of a mature, democratic nation committed to regional peace. We have repeatedly extended a hand of friendship from the Lahore Bus Yatra to the Agra Summit, from the UFA Declaration to the back-channel diplomacy. Yet our goodwill gestures have often been returned with betrayal, from the Kargil intrusion soon after Prime Minister Vajpayee's historic visit to Lahore to the barbaric attacks in Mumbai, Pathankot, Uri and Pulwama. These attacks were not just on Indian soil but on the soul of our sovereignty, on our democracy and on the lives of our innocent citizens. Sir, while the people of India desire peace, we cannot overlook the hard reality that parts of the Pakistani establishment continue to support terrorism as an instrument of state policy. No dialogue can proceed when cross-border terrorism continues unabated. No diplomatic handshake can be sincere when one hand extends peace while the other arms terrorists. India has always maintained that dialogue and terror cannot go hand in hand. For peace to have any meaning, it must be grounded in mutual respect, cessation of violence, and a commitment to international norms. At the same time, we must remember that the people of Pakistan are not our enemies. They too are victims of extremism, economic instability, and authoritarian regimes that have prioritized military agendas over people's welfare. There are countless stories of shared heritage, art, music, poetry, and personal ties that remind us of the deep cultural fabric that still binds our people. Whether it is the voice of Mehdi Hasan that echoes in Indian hearts or the memories of Lahore's literary circles, we cannot ignore that at the level of human connection, there is still warmth beneath the political frost. Sir, we must also consider the strategic and security challenges that Pakistan poses to our national interests. From harboring fugitives to fanning separatist sentiments in Kashmir, the actions of its deep state cannot be ignored. Our armed forces remain ever vigilant at the border, and we salute their bravery. The surgical strikes and the Balakot air strikes were not acts of war but measured responses to terrorism. They sent a clear message: India will not tolerate attacks on its soil, and our commitment to peace must not be mistaken for weakness. At the international level, India has successfully isolated Pakistan on the issue of terrorism. The Financial Action Task Force (FATF) placed it on the grey list, and countries around the world have begun to recognize the dangers of unchecked radicalization and safe havens for terror. Our diplomatic corps deserves credit for rallying global opinion and ensuring that the narrative of victimhood no longer shields Pakistan's complicity in destabilizing the region. But, sir, while we take a firm stance on security and terror, we must also prepare for the future. Climate change, water scarcity, cyber threats, and public health crisis are challenges that do not recognize borders. Regional cooperation in South Asia has been hindered by distrust, much of it stemming from Indo Pak tensions. If Pakistan is willing to create a new chapter free from terror based on mutual respect, India must remain open to constructive dialogue, not for political posturing, but for the genuine benefit of future generations. Trade between our two countries has been minimal for years. Economic engagement, if done with adequate safeguards, can be a powerful tool for peace. People-to-people contact, academic exchanges, sports diplomacy, and cultural initiatives could reduce hostility over time. But again, these efforts will only be meaningful if backed by sincere intent from the Pakistani side. It is also essential that we continue to strengthen our internal security, modernize our intelligence apparatus, and ensure that vulnerable sections of society are not exploited by propaganda. A strong, resilient, and united India is the best response to any external provocation. Let us invest in education, development, and civic harmony so that we are immune to the poisons of hate and division, whether they originate from across the border or within.